All right, here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and raiders of all ages, to another installment of the RoundTable. I am your host, Ace Gonzo, or you can just call me Ace. What is the Roundtable, you may ask yourself? Well, it's a collection of content creators, big and small, that in the raid community that have gathered here to express their opinions on various different topics. Now, if you have missed any of the previous episodes, simply scroll down and to select from any of the topics that were discussed with many of your favorite content creators. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you can be up to date with the Roundtable every single week. If you have any questions or simply want to recommend a content creator to come and join us on the upcoming episodes, please drop a comment down below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/ace_gonzo. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight, and please enjoy the show. Hey guys, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends Roundtable. Today with me I have the one and only Metaverse Truck. How are you, my friend?
Good evening, good morning to you. I am doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on the podcast. Hope everyone is doing good. I'll let you introduce the other goat.
Absolutely.
The other goat embodies from tonight.
But let us know a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself and let us know what you're about and about your channel, what you do, why you like Raid, why you chose Raid.
Yeah, good questions. So these days I'm mostly about booze and smoking. And in the middle of all this, I'm trying to put in a little Raid. I love this game. I've been playing Raid for 2 years, but the thing is, I've taken many breaks, so my account is pretty noob. My level is pretty noob as well. Maybe in the podcast we can, like yesterday, we can get to talk about the reasons why people do play Raid and whatever. I guess in my case, it's just some sort of, addiction or whatever. I really much enjoy it.
Any other
I've
games?
been streaming.
Any other games that you play?
In the past, or yes, but now I'm like all on playing Raid all day, streaming, trying to stream every day during PM hours, for however long I feel like, and I gotta say, so far, it's been just great. Streaming for 3 weeks now. Living in Barcelona, having some pretty hot weather here, so I'm sweating already. But I guess it's because we're about to run this podcast.
Well, you're amongst friends, my friend, so I hope you have a good time here with us, and we'll get into more of those topics here pretty soon. All right, and coming up next, we got Mr. Phreek OG, or Phreek Gaming to a lot of other people. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, Ace, everyone else. I'm Phreek. I've been playing Raid for about 1.5 years. Been streaming since about Christmas time, maybe the New Year is when I started. I only stream on Twitch, don't do the YouTube stuff as of yet. I've been gaming since 1987. That ages me very much. But I've been playing online for a very long time in a lot of different games. All I play right now is Raid. I don't think anybody realistically has time to properly play any game but Raid. There's not enough hours in the day. So I'm a family man, dad of 2, married, live in the country, rurally. My internet connection's absolutely awful, as many might know from watching my stream. And that's about it.
Awesome. And you're one of the original cast members here, original cast invitees, I guess, here. And so I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, it was a little impromptu last time. It was fun, though, so I'm looking forward to today.
Cool. All right. And lastly, but not leastly, we got JR Star 3. Content creator extraordinaire.
Hello, JR Star 3, official content creator, just like Ace said. It's an honor to be here, man, every single time. Pretty much, I do Twitch, YouTube, helping people. I do the builds, a lot of different things. We also have a Discord where we help people as well in terms of guides and stuff like that, champion builds. Great, just happy to be here and getting ready, ready to go.
Fantastic, fantastic. Let me get the shout outs out for you guys because I don't have anyone here to do it for me real quick. Alright, we got Phreek Gaming in there, and then I also am going to throw out JR Stars here. Alright guys, so there are the shoutouts. Click those links guys. I am going to also provide those down in the comment section below for you guys, so that way you guys can catch them live on their Twitch channels. Alright guys, let's get into the topic, which will be the Plarium roadmap for Raid Shadow Legends, or what we know of it. Alright, so here we have the roadmap in the middle, guys, and what we've come to expect, or let's just start from the beginning, or actually, you know what, let's do this. How about we go around the table and talk about what we know about the round, or what we know about the actual roadmap itself. And I know Jay, you're very familiar with this. Me personally, I've been playing for about a year and a half, just over a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. And I barely got introduced to this roadmap here maybe about, I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that. Maybe a little bit further than that, but I never really understood it. Metaverse, what about you? Have you ever seen this before?
That picture, I saw it yesterday for the first time in my life. I know it comes from a Reddit or whatever, a forum. It's like, you get it from the same, I guess, as I do. It's like 2017. Now, yesterday we were discussing the topic a little, and you said last news we had from Plarium concerning a roadmap was 2019. Am I wrong or correct here?
I believe this picture is from Plarium's news in 2019. So about 3 years ago, they released this picture. I'm sure Jay is itching to put his input on this. So, what about you, Phreek? Have you seen this before?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. I've seen a couple of content creators discuss it, Jay being one of them. And I think it might have been someone like Mad Capper or somebody like that who was also discussing it. But I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. It's sort of a mixture between business planning and lore, it feels like. You don't know what part of it might be true and what part might not be. So I am very interested in learning more about it and discussing where we're at and what the next steps in Raid might be.
All right, Jay. Now it's all you, but I know you're itching for it, so let's hear it. Let's hear it. I want that juicy information.
So originally, Plarium was a starting company, and they figured, the only way we can keep players trusting us is by giving them a roadmap and basically telling this is what we're gonna work towards. Because when Raid first started, it only had a certain amount of champions. And they were doing fusions and stuff like that, and the only way to keep people hey, we only have dungeons, campaign. They didn't even have faction wars. There was no Hydra, no Doom Tower. It was just a clan boss, a dungeon, and a campaign. That's it. You had no faction wars, nothing else. So the only way to get people to okay, what's gonna come to the game is by giving them a roadmap, right? We see here. The only problem though was there are a lot of things happened in the years, and actually. For all this to come out took more than a year. It took a lot longer. And they wanted a roadmap for every single year. So the reason why we don't see any more is because I personally think that they don't want to keep telling us they're going to do something and then don't deliver it because they've already messed up on the first one. So that's why they're not kind of focusing on more roadmaps. Now, they might have internal roadmaps because well, I can't talk too much about it, but basically when they updated our NDA and like information, they said that they're going to be doing like these closed meetings where they're going to talk about what they would do on a roadmap. So unfortunately, the player base like us, we're not getting that information. But like in terms of like Hydra, if you've seen, they're giving us timelines now. They give us champion fragment summon timelines. Before, people were making their own timelines and doing like chosen, and other people had to do all this, like Excel sheets. But now they're giving everything to us. They're giving us the character outline with all their abilities. They're learning. They're trying to, do stuff instead of just giving. Before, like they were giving a text information like on a PDF, and we would do videos on just text. Now we actually have pictures and a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot better. It's more professional. And it just sucks because a lot of the stuff that was supposed to come out on the roadmap, we had the Draco, right? The whole situation that happened where they were trying to help someone out, but that backlashed on the company. There was the 1-star review where people were stopped playing Raid. No one, there was a whole Darth, and that hurt the company, and they had to pay so much money just to get people to keep downloading the game and playing it. There was the Doom Tower delay, right? There was the whole Battle Pass 2 that was supposed to come out, but instead they were like, you know what? We're actually just going to put those champions out for free. Or in Doom Tower, like the Archmage, he was actually leaked as a Battle Pass 2 champion, but now he's actually a champion you can get in, if I'm correct, normal Doom Tower. So this is their way they changed a lot of things. And I mean, if we look at here, like Hydra, Mythic Gear, look how long it took for us to get this stuff. Almost 2 to 3 years. It's crazy. So it just makes sense why Plarium, I think, they probably have internal maps like this, but it's, they don't want to actually show anything to us because they don't want to deliver and be like, hey. But I will say they have been very out there telling us, hey guys, like we hear you in terms of maybe a Forge Pass or certain characters or Hydra, they're going to nerf it or balance it. So they've been a lot more communicative compared to before. They just throw things under the rug or say they're going to do something and never, do it. So that's all I can say is they're doing a lot better job.
As a newer player, or let's just say you are a new player, right? And you come in, actually, Metaverse, you might actually be able to chime in here. As a newer player, knowing the game's direction or what to expect next, would that guide you in terms of who to build, what's important for your roster, for your investment, let's just say? Would that be important to you to understand where the game is headed, or if anything, or what is coming up? Or from what Jay is saying is Plarium has a better idea of what they're doing now. So from my understanding is we're just going to be doing back-to-back fusions and back-to-back CVC and back-to-back, like basically zero or a blindfolded it's basically like a blindfolded take on their releases, because we don't know if they're going to be dropping it 2 times or a 10 times or anything. And obviously I'm not expecting that on a roadmap, and I'm sure a lot of people don't either. But wouldn't you want to know if and when they're going to be dropping or opening the Void Tower, or now the Crimson Tower, or when the new factions are going to be coming up? And yes, they do release it with a good amount of notice on their website, but at the same time, wouldn't it be nice to see something on paper beforehand, kind of an idea of what's to expect next? I know I kind of threw a lot of information out there for you guys, but it's just, those were my thoughts and opinions there. But go ahead and chime in if you'd like to.
That's I mean, we're yesterday. We were talking about this right already, a little bit, and I would say like the roadmap definitely will help, right, for anything. The thing actually, if you look at the roadmap they gave us, so the one picture we're looking at, I mean, you cannot. I mean, how is that image? So also there is some sort of information, like text information they gave us, but how am I supposed to draw any sort of tangible information from this JPEG? Right, so I can try and guess. Like back then, if you look at Hydra, is Hydra even on the roadmap? Yeah, it looks like it is.
Mm-hmm.
How can you guess how it's gonna be like, right? Like that you will need champions, that you will need to gear swap or whatever. That it's So it's like an indication. To be honest, I don't know how I would use this to make my account better. And also, yesterday we were saying, for my account, really, I take it like, day by day, somehow the game. Although I know approximately how many gems, I'm gonna spend for fusion. So if you're saying the roadmap is about fusions and CVC, except for CVC with personal rewards, we get some sort of calendar already for the 2x, for the 10x, for the 2-for-1. I mean, there's a content creator who's trying to I can't come up with the name right now, but if you guys are interested about this stuff, which is basically a roadmap of at least the shards events, right? So you can get this information. You can get the 2x information from Ayumilov's website. Same for the 10x. Plan matter. So there is already a bunch of information that we got when it comes to what's in the game. When it comes to what will come to the game, I guess I'm trying to when I play the game, I'm trying to so I'm definitely not a good player, right? Pretty new. So this is just my take, right, on this. But I'm trying to like obviously, right, build champions that I'm going to be able to use in as many areas as possible. And then you never know. The day they launch a new secret Doom Tower, a new a whole set of secret rooms for Doom Tower, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I should have had done that fusion or whatever.
Right. I mean, they're not their roadmap, but their releases of stuff is pretty on par with what's to be released next, especially with champions. There's a lot of niche champions that weren't really used before that are now starting to be more relevant. But I mean, we don't know that until later, until they release that content for everybody. What do you think, Phreek? Anything you want to expand on?
Just actually, I don't have it popped up right in front of me. I can see it on the poker table, but is it chronological, or is it just sort of?
You would think it's chronological because it's kind of branched out in a tree branch. But I believe, I mean, we've never seen the Void Tower. Looks like
So the reason I ask.
Uh-huh.
The reason I ask if it's chronological, like if there's a logical flow, is that would definitely help a new player. That was your question, right? About if you're new to raid, would having this sort of information available help guide you in your gameplay. So if it was chronological and kept up to date, then yeah, it would be extremely useful. But I don't think it's either. So I think it's more of an idea map. Like, here are all the sorts of things we're interested in doing, and we're going to throw them out there and put them on a pretty picture. To give, again, as was said earlier, to give the players some idea that there is a vision, right? There's a plan. There are ideas. There's stuff in the work, so that they're not just going on board and especially the early game, how to keep those people engaged. So I think it's got more value for that, and maybe it'll help any player have an idea of what might happen. But again, it's a might or might not happen, and when is to be determined. As Jay was saying, Plarium doesn't really want to get pinned down on on these things or specific timelines, right? Because it's hard. Software
Right.
development isn't easy. Coming out with a release is not an easy thing to do. So, when you keep missing your deadlines, your user base stops trusting you. So
Right.
it's better to not put dates on it, and especially in a game like Plarium, where they're not really responsible to the players, but the stakeholders, right?
Right. Right. So I understand. I understand what we're talking here as far as a roadmap and what to expect, right? But let's just talk about what's in game currently, right? Let's find out exactly uh, what clues we have. We talked a little bit about lore, right? Sorry, 1 second. We talked a little bit about lore and the roadmap on how it made sense that we have some type of visual cue, right? Or am I saying that right? We had visual cues on what to expect next. Now, they've kind of introduced a lot of visual cues in the game. Actually, even just in, well, let's just say Plarium has done a good job about updating their game as the years have progressed. They've included the forge now. We can now, forge all kinds of amazing gear, which was never on the roadmap. At least I don't see. Yeah, that was never on the roadmap, and I lost it. Where'd it go?
It,
There it is.
yeah, they changed it because they wanted it to be able to forge mythical, but it became the forge. Now,
Right.
in the future, will we be able to do it, like use the forge to do both? Maybe, but that would scale the game a little too hard. So I think it's better just to have the forge.
Now they have done some other improvements as well, like the quality of life improvements, where you can actually only show upgradable. I mean that was kind of cool. That was never in the plans, but at the same time, it was a cool addition to the game, especially when you're ranking up chickens and doing all this stuff for all the tournaments that they're bringing out. So that was cool. Another thing that they added in was the Guardian Ring and the faction guardians, and then the empowerment stuff. That was also not on the roadmap, if I don't remember correctly.
A lot of these things that came into Raid that was not on the roadmap is actually because of the player base. From all the QQing and complaining, Plarium listened to their feedback, and even though they say Plarium doesn't listen, they listened and monetized off that.
Yeah, I completely agree with that for sure, 100%. So let's look at the visual cues. Well, right now we have a Forge Pass, right? They've promised us a second Battle Pass, or a Battle Pass Season 2 for a long time. They did not deliver on the second Battle Pass, but we now have a Forge Pass, right? This is completely different from the original Battle Pass. So guys, just don't let the name fool you. It is something different. It is a good feature. I'm not gonna dismiss it by any means, but at the same time, there is a paywall. Not gonna lie there. There is a paywall there. I guess what else have they introduced? I'm sorry, what other visual cues do we have? Nothing here, and that's all been the same for a long time. We do still have the Void Tower or the Sky Peak Tower, or now they changed the color into the Crimson Tower, right? We're still waiting for this, and it's currently hidden. They changed the color on that, and they have a lot of
So the
areas here that they can add in extra stuff. Go ahead.
lore is called the Crimson Tower, as I understand it. It is somewhere elsewhere in the lore of the game. How is it that we know it's called the Crimson Tower?
Well, originally on the map
Roadmap.
itself, here I'll open
was-
it back up for you guys.
How it was written.
Yep,
Yeah.
right up top. It's called the Void Tower. I'll
Yeah.
zoom into it.
They they decided to, instead of releasing that Void Tower that's supposed to be in dungeons, they focused on, since they couldn't deliver us the Battle Pass 2 champions, they figured instead make a Doom Tower, right? Because a lot of other games have something similar to that, which is end game content, that they could give us the champions. And now they're slowly, like you're calling it, Ace, the Crimson Tower, which is a new name people are calling in the community, in the dungeons that's gonna come soon. And I've been waiting for it because that's been there since day one. Like I just want to see that already, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been hinting hard at this, especially what 6 months ago, 8 months ago, that they were pointing straight at this.
Yep, with Vlad.
Yep.
Vlad, when he was coming out, he was literally looking at the tower from a distance.
Wow. That is a serious visual clue.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
it can be just randomness, right? Random artists choice from a Plarium internal and whatever. And then we got into, you know, interpreting what we're seeing, but it's just tense.
I mean, you could say it's just a slight guesstimate, but at the same time, maybe it's kind of like a Marvel studio, you know, if you know, you know, kind of thing, and then they later release or expand on it, kind of. But another visual clue that we have are 2 more hidden factions that we're waiting for. I believe there's some Nyresian elves, I believe is what it's called.
Nerusian elves, because it's, if you look at the if you look at the index, it's part of the Nerusian faction. If you check on the bottom, the dwarves and the Shadowkin are part of the Nerusians, so you can actually see it there too. You go to the
Okay.
bottom, yeah. So the Nerusian elves are the next faction that should be coming out, and then the one after that is the mages or casters from different elements. Some people have called them the condemned. There's a lot of, you know, C words, but it's not really, you know, canon, so we don't know. But I just know it's a lot of champions that are gonna have like full freeze, full HP burn, full poison. Don't quote me, but that's what I've been, you know, or I know. So
So what I'm noticing on here is that on average, each faction has between 30 and 60 champions. Well, let's just say the averages would be about 40, right? Looks like we're probably missing a few more from Shadowkin before they start releasing. It would be my guesstimate, right?
Mhm.
Because if you look here, they're probably still going to be releasing a few more champs to kind of balance this out.
yes,
Because it looks like Skinwalkers is the
Skinwalkers.
lowest
Yeah.
amount of champs in the whole index here. But before they
You
release
know,
any
because
new champions,
Opardin and Tatura wouldn't have fit in that.
absolutely,
right?
right?
We need more high elves.
Yeah, yeah.
The undead faction is cracked to the max already, right?
58. It looks like Bannerlords has got them beat with 60, and then Sacred Order has 72 champions.
All right.
72 champions in Sacred Order.
But yeah, I hear undead faction is one of the best factions, if not the best, champions wise.
Probably has
We
some,
got another one right now in the fusion. Right? Fragments on them.
I believe that's the Sacred Order, right?
Or is he?
Yeah, Bivol.
I thought he was another Sacred Order, which like
Yeah, he is.
seriously?
He is.
I mean, he looks like a Sacred Order.
Well, yeah. If we talk about the map, how, what you do with the information of what's missing in the index, how is it gonna help you, play the game or whatever?
I mean, this is basically speculation, but it's just visual cues on what to expect next, right? Because we were talking about when these 2 factions will be coming out. Any guess on when you think they may come out? Just one at a time, I guess, would probably be ideal. But I want to say maybe January of next year. What do you guys think?
We know how Plarium defines their fiscal year. Like, do they go like December to December, or they go, end of March, beginning of April, sort of thing? Do we know?
Well, we just had the 3rd-year anniversary. What, like a month ago? So I believe that's when
Right.
they count their year.
Yeah, so their fiscal year probably runs from April 1st to March, end of March. So it probably makes sense for them to try and push a new faction out in the last quarter, so right after Christmas. Try and get us to spend a lot of money so they can boost their numbers before their next fiscal. That's the only logic I can think of. I don't know. Like, Shadowkin seemed to kind of come out of the blue. I don't know if anyone was truly ready. Like, they told us they were coming, but there wasn't any real rhyme or reason. It didn't feel like. But maybe there was. I just missed it.
I can't really remember about when they released Shadowkin faction and how that was done. But I remember like pulling uncommon Shadowkin champions. I was not able to use in the game, basically, not even for faction wars. So yeah, but I guess this is how they do it. Like they release champions and then the faction. I'm not too sure. I mean, yeah, there was no like official date for, or was it? But like they started to release Shadowkin content, and it was done over the weeks. And someday we had the faction open. Like it has been three years of the game, right? And it's two factions. So I would go the easy route and say they release a faction once every a year and a half.
I believe they announced it. They put it in one of the news things where it was like, hey, in about, actually it didn't tell us a date. They didn't say 6 months. They basically said at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, we're going to be releasing this. And then they gave us another warning like a month ahead. They were like, hey, we're going to be releasing it by the end of the month. And then next thing you know, or pretty coming soon, right, is what they said. And next thing you know, it was here within a month. So they pushed it out pretty fast as soon as they announced it, or at least they gave us a warning, and then they gave us another warning, and then it was out.
Yeah, and they realized.
Go ahead, Jay.
There you go. Go Meta.
Metaverse.
So, okay. Yeah, just very shortly, they released Ninja at the same on the same timing, right? When Shadowkin Factions was coming out. That was during that was done in the midst of Ninja's operation event. So guys, who knows if we get another of these? I should say infamous guaranteed champion. Well, Ninja is infamous because he's good and no longer accessible, right? Yeah, that's what I wanted to add. Jay, you were about to say something, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar. Basically, so they're gonna. I'm not saying it's 100%, but every time it seems like they're gonna try to do that to sell a faction. They're gonna try to include someone new. So don't be surprised when the new Eurasian Elves comes out. We might actually get another important person for that as well. But I was gonna say that when they released Ninja for Shadowkin, they realized that a lot of champions were coming out, and they actually gave the player base extra time because they realized how fast they were pushing out champions for faction wars for Lydia, which was nice because they didn't have to. They could have been like, oh well, just keep good luck. You have a few months to catch up. But they pushed it back to Lydia multiple times for people, so that was nice.
I'm wondering if Nigerian elves, like, what are they going to do? Get Miley Cyrus or something? Some creature?
Yikes!
Next sponsored person.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus.
Funny looking little elf.
You know what I don't agree with as far as when they do release a new faction and stuff like that is the reward system that they have. for when you get Lydia, or let's just say, for instance, right now it's 882. It used to be 819, and at 819 they let's see, it was, you get a 5-star chicken, 1,000,000 silver, a legendary book, another 5-star chicken, and then you get a sacred shard, and then you get Lydia. Now, if you beat the faction before Shadowkin came out, all you get is 400 energy. You already have Lydia, so there's no reason to even push any further. But if you wanted to, you get 400 energy, 4 tokens, charms, a void shard, 500, not 1,000,000, 500,000 silver, an epic book. Okay, we get a void shard, a 4-star chicken. Okay, here's 1,000,000 silver, here's a Lego book, and here's a 5-star chicken. I mean, this doesn't equal this. I wish they would have stayed consistent with their rewards, and even like why, even if the Nyresian elves come out, or any other faction come out, why should I even care if I already have Lydia?
Well, for the extra sweets, right? You want the extra sweets. You would care about it because you're a freaking completionist, like all these players.
Most likely, they're going to include a new Doom Tower secret room using Nyresian Elves faction.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll get us somehow.
I don't know. I'm not biting yet. You know, there's no rush for me to even care if they drop this amazing legendary. I mean, I think it took me a good 4 months before I even built my ninja. He stayed in my vault for a long time, but
dang.
Yeah.
They've always got a potential to add another champ after Romantic as well. If they
That's
wanted
true.
to, they could go down that road and force our hands on the factions and some of that stuff.
That is,
there's a lot of different ways they could find to incorporate those factions in it.
right. And what I remember is these missions were not always here, right, Jay?
No, it was just to Arbiter. So once
Yeah.
you got Arbiter, you were like, caught up. It would show like that, and then when Ramontu came out, they included all the other ones.
Okay.
Well, definitely they will add some sort of. Yeah, I mean they have to, right? It makes sense. But it's already like super hard to get Roman 2. I mean, definitely to keep up, you cannot not spend, right? But as a free to play, I don't know how much time that takes to get Ramon 2. But like with the new clan boss, with the new faction, all the rest, it's gonna be another legendary to grab.
Right. Well, this is the year of PvP, and we've all been speculating on what the pinnacle is. And I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm sure you guys are excited for it as well. I mean, we could probably sit here and kind of guess, and we've done this a few times already, where we're trying to figure out what the heck this is. I don't know. I don't know. The state of Arena right now isn't the best state for how they wanted to push. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel for them. I understand that they're going through some troubles right now as a company. They're in a war. I understand that. I'm not asking as a player to give me more content, give me what you promised, yada yada. No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, maybe a file text telling me that this and this is gonna happen. Like, not maybe particular verbatim, but maybe like a
mail or letter,
an explanation of what's gonna be, of what it's gonna be. That's kind of what I would like. What about you guys?
Read like Potato wants a new Doom Tower rotation, and somebody is suggesting Amaranth for for like the next 7 days login rewards. They did ninja. They did a simple. Why not? Yeah, Amarant would fit perfectly.
If she's as good as Yumiko, I'll do it.
I don't know. I think it might be a little bit too vulgar, right? Or too. What was the word that they used on you, Jay?
Oh my God.
What was that word?
Yeah, we didn't catch it.
Sexualized.
Yes.
They don't want their champions to be sexualized.
Right.
But
That's why they
okay.
build the women with such small things.
The other day,
Their artwork is totally sexualized. Every last one of their characters
the other day,
is sexualized.
Well, we do have the Great Void over here as far as a new clan boss area, right?
I was going to ask about that.
We have another visual cue. Up here we have the Demon Lord. It looks just like the Demon Lord when you go in game. In the middle we have Hydra, and you see all the different heads here. Over here, it's just like a blob, maybe some tentacles, an eye.
it's gonna be Mother, right?
It's most likely going to be the original Void champion, like the first Void. It's probably going to be like well, I'm not, saying it, but it might be like some sort of Cthulhu or like some powerful beholder type of monster. I wouldn't be surprised if like you can only use voids or all champs become void or affinities start changing during the fight and you have to like balance out that RNG and crazy stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised.
Wow.
Fusion actually has never encountered before like hit, right? The fact that he's a spirit affinity that hits like a void champion. At least that is interesting about him. I don't know what's up with this. Jay, if you have an idea, Phreek, if you have an idea about what's up with this ignore weak hits.
Well, it's balancing the affinity against making so you don't have to worry about affinity, right?
Yeah. It's pretty much what I understand from that.
Just like there's some champs that can't crit. Don't like those champs very much, but they exist. Like this hit cannot be critical. You see that sometimes too.
Well,
Affinity changing during the fight. That is pretty interesting.
well, Doom Tower rotations, we are expected to see more bosses. We're expected to see more levels, maybe harder difficulties. We'll see that coming soon. This is ever changing. They can do whatever they want here. This is already expected. There are some hidden or locked areas here. It's kind of the whole idea of the visual cues that we are going to get, or what we're to expect. Any direction. Go ahead. Oh,
You want to know another visual cue?
sure.
Go to the where dungeons are. So when we first well, not like literally, sorry, not literally, but like right there, sorry, just one before where you see everything. Before like faction wars and all that came out, we would always scroll as much as you can to the left and to the right. We were always like, yo, we're gonna get a lot of stuff because you could pull your mouse if you're playing on Player and Play or something else. You could actually see how much extra room. So we knew there was more content coming. Oh, I'm gone?
No. You're good. I'm just looking for Phreek. Phreek, are you still with us? There we go. There we go. All right.
Welcome back. So if you try scrolling Ace, you can see how much extra space there actually is. So back then, when we were first playing, we were like, "What content?" We didn't have like the roadmap came out like decently time after, but we didn't know. So I can tell you, there's probably going to be more modes on this screen. So if real time arena is not just going to be the pinnacle, it'll be another section like here where you click, and they might put it in between where PvP or clan boss is. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a whole new mode or something like that'd be nice because they have a lot of room to work there on that area. So that's another. Well, I know it might seem like speculating, but I'm just telling you, when we first started, there was nothing there. So they're adding a lot of things there. So
You know, kind of what I would like to see, just as a what do you call that? Quality of life, right? What I would like to see is this market, the center of the screen when you log in, to be an actual market, to be like a one click all market, like let's just say like I guess a market is the same thing as a bazaar. Anyways, my point is, instead of having to go over here, go over here, go over here, that's 3 clicks, 4 clicks. Now I can get into the bazaar, right? Or let's just say I have to back all the way out. Clan shop. I mean, are we catching a theme here? That's 3 different areas. If I want to go into the shop itself, why does it have a button here? Why can't I just go into what's called the market and click on like stuff like this and select from there which one I want to do, so that way I can just back out and be back in the bastion instead of having to click over here, over here, over here. Let's just say I want to buy whatever I want to buy, and then I have to back all the way out over here just to get back into here.
Well, actually, also, yeah. Sorry, Phreek, go ahead.
Just similar to how they did the Guardian ring, right?
Yeah.
They've just basically made it so that it's tab delineated by area, and you just have one place to go to do all that sort of stuff, to deal with your Guardians and your champs and such.
What do you think, Jay?
I think
Oh, go ahead.
Set
Go ahead,
up
Metaverse.
set up clicking buttons. For I mean, one question that is raised is, where would you put the direct access for the bazaar and all the rest that you're mentioning? Because
Just
the interface is pretty.
just right here. Click this market,
Yeah, okay.
and then have it pop up
Have it
with,
full.
because why do people click on this market? And I mean, nobody's buying any of this gear. I mean, maybe every once in a while I'll buy some, I guess, some champs or whatever because I want to feed them. But the only reason why people even click on this is just to get, like, what's expected is just to get mystery shards. That's it.
It's some quality of life, right, with the clicking thing. So like recently they did I'm gonna skip some, but they did the 10x forge, right? Forge 10 items, and then like I don't know why they stopped doing this, but they implemented. It wasn't like that before. Like they implemented the you can click when you go back to battle. You click and you can go directly to the last campaign stage you were doing. For some reason, it's not available for dungeons. Maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, why why stopping there, right? When you can, yeah, it works for campaign.
I see what you mean, Metaverse. It might be a same bug that they're telling us about, the whole you can't look at your champions booked. You have to go to like the actual champion area just to see like their stats and stuff. It's like, why do I have to, like if you click on a champion when you're trying to do dungeons or Doom Tower, you have to literally go all the way back to one section. It could have been around that same time when that quotations bug happened, and they're trying to fix when that situation that you're talking about happened. In terms of the market, they actually did tell us that they were going to improve the market. So they told us quality of life was coming to the tavern, then the market. Content creators did ask Plarium to try to make it, like you said, Ace, a one place because they're tired of going everywhere. And they could, maybe you could upgrade your market, right? Could be another way they can monetize. And if they had the bazaar there, you could actually upgrade your bazaar at the same time. It'd be like kind of like a structure that you could work on and is make a better market, kind of like the gem mine. But that's all talked about. We'll see if they even keep going with that. But they did say they wanted to focus on that. But that's not the. We all know that's not the main area. We don't go there, so they know that would be a quality of life. But it's not like a must. People were complaining about the tavern a lot. People were complaining about the dupe system. So that's why those things came out first. But the market will get an upgrade, hopefully this year.
Yeah, I'd like
So the
to see
market
that.
upgrades.
Oh,
The
go
market
ahead.
upgrades may not make them any money, right? That's the thing is they're going to focus on what's going to increase profit. So when they do things like they revamp the whole Guardian League, well, you know what they did there? They gave us a dupe system and let us buy more champs and crunch them and get coins or tokens and etc.
What
So
if
they've got to have incentive, right?
what if the market, what we click on right now, actually evolved with the player level? So you actually have a reason to actually click on that. You actually get decent gear, actually even new gear, because all we see in there is retaliation, life. Like, who buys life? There's, but what if they dropped instant gear, if they dropped savage gear, if they dropped, uh, rank 6 instead of a 5, because that's all you get now is 5-star gear in there. If they brought this stuff out there, would you not want to click that refresh?
Right.
So I believe they've already got it like that somewhat. As someone who's started a few new accounts in the past, I've recognized that the items that I see on my main account, while I have no interest for my main account, I would love to get them on a new account, but they only give me the really cruddy 3-star uncommon stuff on the brand new accounts, right? So it's like that level 35. Once you can get into Tag Team Arena and get into different areas of the game, then they change the level of quality. But even at that point, you're not interested in that level of quality. They need to add, like, say, multiple tiers, say for level 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then 60 and up is basically, getting the best stuff. That would be my opinion on how they should do it, because they've already started it. I see the gear on the new accounts, and I'm not seeing any 4-star stuff, any 5-star stuff. It doesn't come out. So
How often are you clicking on that, especially as a newer player, though?
all the time, I want mystery shards,
Okay.
and I want speed boots.
Facts. Speed gear.
same
I'm looking
here.
for it.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
I check it as they've trained me. I'm so trained to click on the market and get my mystery shard, right? I just it's just automatic now. I think it is for most of us, because there could be an agent there, and that's the pull.
I mean, that's pretty much the
With
best
doing
thing you
this-
can get out of there. But what if they added in void shards? What if they added in mythical gear? What if they added 6-star speed boots? It gives you a reason to actually go in there even more. You have more of an itch.
You
But-
have a reason to go in. Right
The
now, the
mystery
reason
shards.
is a gamble, right? On
Yeah.
an ancient shard.
Yep. All right, guys. Let's get this wrapped up. I mean, as far as the roadmap goes and what to expect in game, there's a lot of quality of life improvements that I would like to see, but I mean, that's all to speculation, right? As far as how to guide my gameplay, or any new players' gameplay is basically going to be through the news outlets that we have, which is all the news that they throw out there, or if you want to be even further ahead of the curve, because they usually only drop these about a week in advance, tops, is going to the Plarium website and going down to the raid section, or just join their Discord and you'd be up to date with all of their news outlets. Anything else that you guys would like to add? Anyone?
I guess the only thing I've got to add is that I think we successfully discovered nothing new. And I'm not saying that as a bashing anyone, but I think that's how we play this game, right? We're always left somewhat in the dark, and I think that's on purpose. It's a good business decision on Plarium's part to not commit to dates and things when they may not be able to deliver. Um, but I like the ideas that came out of this chat today. I think that, like, especially the marketplace aids, that would be fantastic. Uh, and I want to say thanks for having me on today.
It was great having you.
Just to add something really quickly. Yesterday, in the night, Ace were talking. They want to keep us in the shadows of what's gonna come, because that way we spend more in the game to be trying to catching up on the news they are giving us, just like they do with the start of the game when they invite you to make mistakes. But Jay said earlier, and that's what Phreek just said also. It's now who knows, right? But it more has to do with an actual they don't want to make any promises they're unable to keep, because that's the worst probably. It's even they prefer not to communicate. And I don't know what change could make the things different in terms of the information they deliver us. Yeah, I don't know what's their drive. Probably money, right? So as long as this part is not disturbed, they roll. But again, I'm so much not knowledgeable about this topic. Anyways, that was it. Yeah, thank you as well for having me in the air.
Not a problem.
Much appreciate.
I enjoyed the conversation as well.
I mean, I think as players we have a lot to be excited for. Real-time arena, new dungeon bosses, Hydra's getting nerfed plus difficulty, possibly Crimson Towers coming out, new faction. Like, it's a lot. And I'm surprised they were delivered last year. No one believed that they were going to do dupe system, Hydra, Doom Tower, plus new faction, like the Shadowkin. Like, it was a lot. The fact that they actually said they were going to do it, and they did finish the year by doing everything they said, was good. So I believe that this year if they can continue to do what they did last year, they can deliver this year everything that I just mentioned.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think we're expecting a lot, and we seem to be getting a lot in a very short period of time. So I'm grateful to be playing Raid and enjoying this time with you guys as well. So we'll wrap this up, guys, and pretty much wanted to thank you guys all for being here. And of course, I enjoyed the conversation with you guys. If you guys can just go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well, and thanks for being here.